Hi friends, welcome to the J Science World. I hope you all be fine. Please obey the COVID rule and regulations and save yourself. Friends, in this lecture we will discuss June 2020 IGNOU TE CHE4 Physical Chemistry. Friends, this is question number 1. Write the SI unity of gas constant R. Friends, we know ideal gas law states that PV is equal to nRT, where R is equal to, this is a gas constant, that is PV by NT. In place of PV we used energy, that is also N and T, so energy by NT. The energy SI unity, that is joule, the number of molecule present, that is mole, SI unity mole, and temperature we used SI unity kelvins. So our answer is joule mole inverse Kelvin inverse. Friends, why you used in place of PV energy? Let's try to understand. Friends, energy formula, energy is equal to force into distance. In place of energy, in place of PV we used energy, so we simply write energy is equal to pressure into volume. Friends, pressure is equal to force by distance, so in simply used in place of pressure, that is force by distance, and volume also volume. Then friends, force by distance SI unity, that is length square, and volume length q, so this cancel, force into length, that is force into distance. So friends, we simply find that is force into distance, that is our energy. So we simply used in this place, that is the energy. So the SI unity of gas constant, that is joule mole inverse Kelvin inverse. This is question number B. Define vapor pressures. Friends, we simply take some waters in a pot. Friends, this is our water, this is air. When we heat the water change into vapors. The molecule leaving a liquid through evaporation create an upward pressure. Like this. Friends, these water molecules collide with air molecules and create some pressures. This is our vapor pressure. So friends, we simply write the pressure exerted by a vapor in contact with its liquid at a given temperature, it is called its vapor pressure. We also write like this: the vapor pressure is a measure of the tendency of a material to change into gaseous or vapor state. So the pressure exerted when some liquids change into vapors. The pressure is increased with temperatures. So temperature increase, the vapor pressure increase. The unit of a vapor pressure, that is pascals. Friends, the another term related to vapor pressure, that is our boiling point. Friends, at the temperature at which the vapor pressure is equal to the atmospheric pressure, that is our air pressure, is called our boiling point. So friends, we simply write down vapor pressure is equal to atmospheric pressure, that is our air pressures at that particular point, that is our boiling point. So our definition, that is the temperature at which the vapor pressure at the surface of a liquid become equal to the pressure exerted by the surrounding, is called the boiling point of a liquid. We simply write the vapor pressure is equal to atmospheric pressure at that particular point, temperature, that is our boiling point. Friends, this is question number C. What is an isothermal process? Friends, this thermal means temperature, iso means constant. So friends, we simply write down in thermodynamic, an isothermal process is a type of thermodynamic process in which the temperature of the systems remains constant, means del T is equal to 0. For example, refrigerator work isothermally, means the temperature inside the refrigerator are constant. Friends, the next question is question number D. Define enthalpy of neutralizations. Friends, we take some examples. A simple equation When NOH react with HCl, this produces NaCl plus H2O. This NOH, sodium hydroxide, is a strong base and is a strong acid. When this strong base and strong acid react to form salt and water, this is a neutralized equations. The neutralization of a strong acid and strong base has pH equal to 7. So friends, we simply write down what is neutralization. It is defined as the energy release with the formation of 1 mole of water. How much energy release to formation of 1 mole of water, that is our enthalpy of neutralization. So friends, we simply say that the enthalpy of neutralization del Hn is the change in enthalpy that occurs when one equivalent of one acid and a base undergo a neutralization reaction to form water and salt. We already see in these reactions. The next question is, this is question number E, state Raoult's law. The general formula of Raoult's law, that is P solution is equal to X solvent into P solvent. P solution, this is our observed vapor pressure of the solutions, and X solvent, this is mole fractions of solvent, and P solvent, the vapor pressure of the pure solvent. So friends, Raoult's law states that you clearly see in this formula a solvent partial vapor pressures in solutions or mixture is equal or identical to the vapor pressure of the pure solvent multiplied by its mole fraction in the solutions. This is our vapor pressure multiplied with mole fractions. This is our P solutions. Simply it means that when substances were mixed in a solution, the vapor pressure of the solution decrease simultaneously. When you add some substance in the solution, the vapor pressure also decrease simultaneously. Friends, next question is, what is buffer solutions? Friends, a buffer solution is one which maintains its pH fairly constant even upon the addition of small amount of acid or base. So friends, these solutions, when you add some amount of acid or base, it does not change its pH, means it is constant pH. There are two type of buffer solution, one is acid buffers and second one is basic buffers. Friends, our blood is a buffer solutions. When we eat some acid containing fruits, that lemons, but our blood maintains its pH and does not change its pH, means constant pH. So we simply say that our blood is a buffer solution. Friends, this is question number G. What do you understand by order of a reactions? Friends, we simply take reaction, that is NO plus O2, that is 2NO2. Friends, we simply take some amount of NO and add some amount of O2 to form 2NO2. So friends, let's see what happened. The concentration of NO is constant and add some O2 in the solution and some reaction take place. So friends, we fix the concentration of NO and we change the concentration of O2. First we add some amount of O2, that is 0.60 milligram amount of O2. So see what happens. Friends, we see the rate of the reactions is 2 times. When we add 0.120, means double amount of oxygen, the rate of reaction is increased 4 times. But when you increase the concentration of O2, again the rate of reaction again increase 8 times. So we simply say that but one thing is remained, we did not change the concentration of NO, we simply change the concentration of O2. So friends, when we change the concentration is 2 times, the rate of reaction increase 2 times. This is our first order reactions. If the concentration increase 2 times but the rate of reaction increase 4 times, this is our second order reactions, means 2G square. When the concentration of O2 increase 2 times but the rate of reaction increase 3 times, means 2:3, 2 to the power 3. This is our third order reactions. But friends, when we increase the concentration of O2 2 times but the rate of reaction does not change, no change in its rate of reactions, this is our zero order reactions. Friends, the rate of reaction, that is how fast our reaction occurs. The concentration means the amount of O2 we taken. So simply we say that the definition of the order of reaction, the order of reaction refers to the relationship between the rate of chemical reactions and concentration of the species taking part in it. Friends, I hope you will understand. I did not waste your time. So I simplify this lecture as possible as how many students like you are watching video like this but cannot find them. Please share this video with some of your friends who will benefit from it. Don't forget to subscribe, like, share, press the bell icon for more updates. Thank you so much.